I realize it's a high honor to be the president of this great country, and the Oval Office reminds me of that. Reminds me of that because of its beauty, and it reminds me of that because of all the people who have come before me. And first thing I see every morning when I come in is the sun shining through these big windows, and the windows are magnificent. They let in the sunlight. It's a great place for me to view the wonderful South Lawn. And the rug we've designed, each president designs a rug, and the rug that Laura designed for the Oval Office captures the sun, and it helps make this room a open and optimistic place. In the center of all the presidential rugs, of course, the great seal of our country. Interestingly enough, the eagle, as you can see, faces the talon with the olive branch, and yet the old seal had the eagle looking at the talon with the arrows. After World War II, Harry Truman changed the seal so that America was looking at peace, not at war. Of course, it's always important to make sure we got enough arrows in the talon to keep the peace. I sit here at this desk. It's a famous old desk called the HMS Resolute. It has been used by a lot of presidents. President Roosevelt used it. Both Roosevelts used it, for that matter. President Reagan used it. And, of course, probably the most famous picture in the Oval Office was right out this door where John Kennedy poked his head when his dad was the President of the United States. This door, by the way, was put on the desk by Franklin Roosevelt to uncover his infirmities. I love the ornate nature of the desk. It's a beautiful piece of furniture, and it fits in nicely with the Oval Office. Each president can put whatever paintings he wants on the walls. I've chosen some paintings that kind of reflect my nature. This is called A Charge to Keep I Have by W.H.D. Kerner. It's a Western painting. It shows a horseman charging up a steep cliff, determined to achieve an objective. The song is based upon a Methodist hymn, A Charge to Keep I Have, or a hymn. The painting is based upon a hymn called A Charge to Keep I Have, and it talks about serving something greater than yourself in life. A president must always keep that in mind. A president must serve the nation and not himself, not his self-interests. A president must be the president of all the people, not just those who voted for him. A president has got to elevate the discourse to and set goals that are bigger than political parties. I put Abe Lincoln on the wall because the job of a president is to unite the nation. You can't achieve big goals and big objectives. Which is the job of the president? The job of a president is to set big goals for the country, big objectives. And in order to achieve those objectives, the country must be united. But Abe Lincoln had the toughest job of all as President of the United States in achieving big goals and big objectives because the country was divided. It was fighting itself. And yet when you read his writings, he constantly thought about how best to keep the Union together. I've also got George Washington on the wall here. And the answer is I don't think you could have the Oval Office without George Washington, the first president of our country. He's just a perfect fit. The other paintings on the wall are from Texas. This is Onderdock. A man named Julian Onderdock painted these paintings. A man named Julian Onderdock was the artist. And there's a picture of the Alamo in West Texas. The Texas paintings are on the wall because that's where I'm from and where I'm going. It's an honor to serve here in the Oval Office, but my home will be in Texas. This also is a Texas painting by a man named Tom Lee. He's a personal friend of Laura and mine. He passed away, unfortunately, this year. This painting here is by Tom Lee. He was a personal friend of Laura and mine. He was from El Paso, Texas. He wrote this about, at one time Tom wrote this. He said, Sarah and I live on the east side of the mountain. It is the sunrise side, not the sunset side. It is the side to see the day that is coming, not to see the day that is gone. I love that quote because it is a president must see a day that is coming, not the day that is gone. The president has got to see a better day for America. And I do see a better day for this country. And this painting reminds me of the optimistic spirit that I feel in my heart about the country. And finally, The final painting is also a Julian Onderdonk. It's a beautiful setting of Texas bluebonnets, which is the Texas flag. The painting is a setting of Texas bluebonnets. It's done by Julian Onderdonk. This kind of reminds me of our ranch in the Crawford area, and even though I don't get to spend as much time as I'd like to, just looking at the picture kind of reminds me of a place that Laura and I love. I've got 3 busts here in the Oval Office. The first that I'd like to show you is of Winston Churchill. This was on loan from the British government. My friend, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, heard me say that I greatly admired Winston Churchill, and so he saw to it that the government loaned me this, and I'm most honored to have this Jacob Epstein bust of Winston Churchill. I like Churchill because he was a great war leader. He was resolute, he was tough, he knew what he believed, and he had a fabulous sense of humor. And in this job, believe me, you've got to have a sense of humor. Otherwise, it makes the days awfully long and the nights awfully short. This is Abraham Lincoln. Again, Lincoln, as you can tell, is one of my favorite presidents because of not only because of his great wisdom and strength, but because he loved America and realized a united America is important for the future of our land. And finally, Dwight David Eisenhower, Ike. Finally, we got Dwight David Eisenhower here. He was a steady, solid president. He performed well in office. In this town, there's a lot of talk and sometimes not enough action and results. And Eisenhower was a modest person who did a heck of a lot of good work on behalf of all Americans, and I appreciated his leadership style. One of the things that people see in the Oval Office, of course, when the President speaks from the Oval Office, is the pictures behind his desk, and my pictures are my family. The pictures I have behind my desk are of my family, because my family is a priority in my life, and they've got pictures of our girls, pictures of the First Lady and other members of our family, Barney and Spot, the dogs, pictures of my grandparents, pictures of my dad. I love to have my family behind me, in spirit as well as in pictures, and so that's the Oval Office.